Welcome back. Through its first quarter 2021 financial report, Astra International stated that it has invested in two domestic startups, namely Halodoc and Sayurbox, with a total investment value of up to $40 million.
Through its first quarter 2021 financial report, the conglomerate group Astra International stated that it has invested in two domestic startups. Astra International invests in a startup that provides basic necessities, Sayurbox, worth $5 million or around 72 billion rupiah. Astra is also injecting capital for a startup company in the health sector, Halodoc, $35 million or 508 billion rupiah. The financial report also revealed that the corporate action had been carried out since last March. Sayurbox is a farm-to-table grocery e-commerce, and during the first quarter of 2021, Sayurbox noted that service demand increased by 30% on an annual basis. Meanwhile, Halodoc provides digital-based health services with the number of users increasing 25 times in the last 3 years, where currently Halodoc has 20 million monthly active users. The number of transactions also jumped up by 16 times. IDX Channel team reported.
The presence of startups is one of the investment opportunities both for venture capital or conglomerate companies that are interested in injecting some of their funds. One of them is Astra Group, which was recently reported to have taken part in funding for two local startups, namely Halodoc and Sayurbox. And for more details, let's just go to the first graphic in today's infographic session or segment in Market Headlines. This is the realization of Indonesian healthcare startup funding in early 2021. The name of the startup is Halodoc, and series and value, the Series C, the value as much as $80 million. The list of investors are Astra, Temasek, Telkomsel, Mitra Investasi, Novo Holdings, Accru, Diversified Capital Fund, and Bangkok Bank. And Halodoc provides digital-based health services with 20 million monthly active users, or an increase of 25 times in the last 3 years. And not only that, the number of transactions also jumped 16 times. This increase is supported by the ecosystem, namely more than 20,000 licensed doctor partners, 2,000 hospitals, clinics and laboratories, and 4,000 pharmacies. Regarding the funding, Halodoc CEO Jonathan Sudarta said that the fresh funds will be used to expand penetration in various major health verticals and improve user experience. And not only health startups, the Astra Group also participates in funding an agricultural-based startups, namely Sayurbox. And let's see more information in the next graphics. The name of startups, as I mentioned before, Sayurbox. The business scope is e-commerce grocery farm-to-table platform and distributor of fresh goods, and the total funding as much as $5 million or equal with 72 billion rupiah. The funding objectives as the part of the company's initiative to accelerate digital transformation. In the midst of a pandemic, startups that provide fresh agricultural products are one of the favorites. One of the startups is Sayurbox, which is a farm-to-table grocery e-commerce, and not only experienced an increase in the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, even throughout the first quarter of 2021, Sayurbox noted that service demand increased 30% of an annual basis. And for last year, Sayurbox collaborated with 1,000 farmers in several areas, including Surabaya and Bali. Meanwhile, not only Halodoc and Sayurbox, several other startups also managed to secure funding at the end of 2020. What are these startups? Let's see on the next graphics. These are the list of startups secured funding in the fourth quarter of 2020. We have Halodoc without H, the series and value, Series C, the value of the investment as much as $33 million or 465.7 billion rupiah. The name of investor is MDI Ventures. Meantime, Investry, the series or the value of the investment as much as $15 million or as much as 211.7 billion rupiah. And the name of investor is Ashel Capital. Meantime, Logistically, the series As it can be seen on your screen, Series A, the value of the investment, $6 million US, and the name of the investor is Monks Hill Ventures. And President Director of Alo Dr. Suci Arumsari said that the additional capital would be used by the company to complement various services, making it easily accessible and affordable for the public. Meanwhile, Investory co-founder and CEO Adrian Gunadi revealed that the additional capital will be used to expand lending to micro, small, and medium enterprises. And on the other hand, Logisly co-founder and CEO Rulin Nyoto Setiadi said that the proceeds from the funding will be used by the company to streamline costs. The 3 startups that received this funding are only some of the startups that managed to secure funding throughout the 4th quarter of 2020. And the question is, how many funding deals were made in the previous quarters? The data is in the next graphic. This is the realization of Indonesian startup funding in the 1st quarter of 2020. As much as 23 deals were signed. The total value of the investment at that period as much as 18.7 trillion rupiah. And meantime, in the 2nd quarter of 2020, as much as 33 deals were signed. The total value of the investment as much as 1.4 trillion rupiah. And meantime, for the 3rd quarter of 2020, as much as 25 deals were signed. The total value of the investment that was signed and that time, as much as 6.8 trillion rupiah. The venture capital company Cento Ventures released a report entitled Southeast Asia Tech Investment in 2020. In the report, it was stated that the total amount of funding in Southeast Asia in 2020 reached $8.2 billion from a total of 333 investments. Of the total funding in Southeast Asia, as much as 70% or around 82.9 trillion rupiah was invested in technology startups from Indonesia. This dominance was driven by funding of 3 billion obtained by Gojek from several technology giants such as Facebook, PayPal, Google, and Tencent. And apart from Gojek, several Indonesian startups that have also managed to get big investments from investors are Kopi Kenangan, Link Aja, and Wear6. In the fintech sector, Indonesia also leads the way with an allocation of 51% of total funding in Southeast Asia. And hopefully the massive funding for Indonesian startups will have a wide multiplier effect, both for economic turnover and benefits for society in general. Stay tuned on Market Headlines because we'll be right back after the break.